Hey everybody, Mike here, June 14th, 2013. Thank God it's Friday. First off, I want to apologize to everybody for my absence for, 4 weeks now. It's been about 4 weeks. So first and foremost, I wanted to apologize to everybody for that and kind of not explaining what's been happening with me lately. And you know what? A lot of you have left comments, private messages and everything asking about things, and I really didn't want to talk about too much, but I made the decision to, hey, you guys are my subscribers, man. There are a lot of you that actually genuinely care. There's no doubt about that. So I figure I owe everybody this video, especially the ones that were asking about me. Thanks to everybody that's subscribed in the last 4 weeks. Anyway, yeah, thanks for everybody for subscribing in the last 4 weeks. I do appreciate that very much, even though they haven't seen any activity. So that just must have been from watching old videos. I do appreciate that very much. All right, this is what's been going on. I know a lot of you know from my past videos, some of the medical issues I was going through, and I've been down and out with the stomach a while back. Way back when, not even realizing it was gastritis at that point in time, or even knowing that it was my gallbladder. But in February of 2012, my gallbladder was taken out. I was having horrendous back pain. See the heating pad back there? I was having horrendous back pain radiating up into the top, up into my shoulders, really bad. And along with a little bit of pain under the right rib cage, not much, but a little bit here and there, but mostly dead center. And they end up giving me a ultrasound, and they found gallstones, so they ripped the gallbladder out. That was in February 2012. Didn't feel much back pain or stomach pain because of a change of diet, obviously, and also laying flat on my back. So my back really wasn't doing that much. So the back pain was kind of gone. But after my gallbladder healed, March, April comes around, I'm hiking, running, walking, biking, doing all the stuff that I normally do, and I notice that my back is starting to slowly creep up in the pain again. Going in and complaining about it, the first thing was my stomach is still hurting, and my back's still hurting. So that's when in somewhere in March, April, they end up doing an upper endoscopy and a colonoscopy. There's, video on that. I'm sure most of you will remember that. And they found that I had gastritis. Colonoscopy was clean. They said, we don't want to see you back for another 10 years. And but they found gastritis. So I was prescribed some medication. I've been taking that now for 8 months. And it really hasn't helped that much. And my diet has changed a lot. I think the only crazy things I was really eating was the stuff I was doing on my show, which really wasn't, that much. It's not like I'm continuously consuming this stuff. From that point on, when I went back to go see the digestive person, then they ordered a CT scan, an MRI, and x-rays. All three showed nothing of why I'm having this pain in my back, which back then I was still able to hike and do everything else, but it was just this gnawing little pain that was there at all times. So then I go see my doctor, and my doctor sends me in for a full body bone scan. And boy, that thing is just a pain in the butt. They shoot you up with that nuclear crap, and then they have that donut thing that just passes over your body, and you have to lay there wrapped like a mummy for an hour's time. If your nose itches, anything itches, it doesn't matter. And let me tell you, when you're constricted down, everything starts to itch and it drives you nuts. But they didn't find anything, and all these are good that they're not finding stuff, but they're not finding what the problem is. So that brings us to something else that I discovered going through my hospital records online. I found out that I complained about fatigue, dizziness, and the back pain in August of 2012. I went to go see my doctor that I'm seeing now. So just to throw that out there, I'd already been to see him about this. So 4 weeks ago, all hell breaks loose. My gastritis goes. I did something very stupid by eating a whole container thing of hummus that I had made, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm starting to figure out that I'm allergic to nuts and seeds, because I can eat garbanzo beans fine, but when it's mixed with tahini, I think it's the tahini that affected me. Anyway, it popped off a bout of gastritis, and at the same time, everything came down. Here's a list of what was happening between the first week. All of this gradually got worse into the second week. The second week and third week were pretty bad, and this week is the only time I've even wanted to actually, my lights aren't even set up. I just have the window open up in the back to get natural light in. I didn't want to make a video. I didn't want to set up lights. It was too painful and bothersome, and it just didn't feel good to get it done. And I'd rather just lay on the couch. The couch I'm actually sitting on normally sits this way against the wall, and it's actually facing this way, which is facing my big screen TV in the living room, so that I was spending most of my time here. And 4 weeks ago, this is everything that started. Along with the gastritis, major fatigue, from when I'm up till I go to bed. Fatigue. Off-balance dizziness, not spinning, just off-balance dizziness, forgetfulness, confusion, constant pain in the center of my back between my shoulder blades that moves around, spinal tingling, like somebody's got these little electric probes inside of me, inside of my spine, but on the left-hand side. Sometimes some groin area pain, like a pulled muscle, chest discomfort on the sternum, not underneath by the heart, but kind of right on the sternum, like my ribs are sore, headaches, major weight loss, and I'm not sure if you can see it on my neck, but 4.5 weeks ago, I weighed 165, 168 pounds. Today I weigh about 149. Lots of nausea, no vomiting, and tingling needles and pins on my pinky and palms, and ringing in the ears. So that's basically all of my symptoms that I've been feeling, and it knocked the crap out of me. Some months ago, I started going to a chiropractor, went for a month and a half, about 3 times a week, did absolutely nothing. Somebody said, go visit a chiropractor. So I did it. Didn't do any good. So May 22nd, I went and got a blood test at my doctor's. What's wrong? All the symptoms. Okay, well, let's get some blood. Let's see what you got. My cholesterol has always been a little bit high, not skyrocket high, but a little high. So my cholesterol was the same as about where it was, but the only thing that had a warning by it was my glucose. My glucose was up to 112, and they're looking for anything between 65 and 99, and that's when I was fasting. So I finally get these results in the mail about a week later, and that, which was 3 weeks ago, I felt like just horrible. That was at the worst I had felt. My eyes were barely open, sluggish, could barely talk, couldn't drive very well, a mess. And that was on May 30th. So I went in on the 30th when I got these, and I went in again, but my doctor wasn't in, he was on vacation, so I saw another doctor that was there. She saw everything that was going on with me, and you could obviously tell something is wrong. This guy is not. And I didn't even want to take video of that. It was just so freaking horrible. But she took more blood. And I knew what she was leaning towards. She was asking me if I was constantly thirsty and, do I have this? Do I have that? And she was leaning towards diabetes or pre-diabetes. So they'd take another blood test. Naturally, I wasn't fasting at that time. But in the process of that, they found that my hemoglobin A1C, for diabetes or pre-diabetes, was at 6.1, and they looked for a 5.7 and below. The end of this letter says, Dr. So-and-so has reviewed your test results, and they require a follow-up visit with your doctor. So I call up my doctor, I schedule a visit, and he looks at the blood test and he goes, well, you're pre-diabetes, but you're not diabetic or anything right now. Let's see you back in a month's time and we'll take more blood. A month? At how I was feeling then, a month, I looked like crap and I felt like crap. And I couldn't believe he wanted me back in 1 month's time. So that's where I left it with him. And me complaining about my back, it's probably just, from, a little bit of your sugar being high and this and that. I said, dude, it's like, man, you have no clue. The person that you're looking at right now is not the person But of course, why would he remember? He's got a million patients that he sees, and he's just one of the most horrible doctors I have ever been to. Let me tell you how bad of a doctor he is. When I went in for my hernia, I'm complaining of, I'm hurting down here, doc. I'm really hurting. If I feel like I may have a hernia, I need you to check it out and make sure. He doesn't touch me. He doesn't touch me. He writes it up and sends me to a surgeon for a surgeon to check me. Now, it did come out that, yes, most definitely I had triple hernia, two double upper inguinal and umbilical hernias, but he didn't even bother to check. Most doctors would check, turn, cough, yep, you got a hernia. Here, go to the surgeon. He's going to verify that you do, and boom, surgery time it is. And that was, some years ago. But that's the kind of doctor he is. He hears, but he doesn't listen. He got fired today. He got his butt fired today. I ran into somebody else. They told me about another doctor. They had nothing but good, fabulous things to say about him. Doing research on the net, found out he's fantastic, found out the stuff that he specializes in are diabetes, endocrinology, metabolism, lots of things of which I may have going on. I'm not sure. From the people that I've talked to, he's an excellent doctor. And from the reviews that I've seen and from the stats that I've seen on him, he seems perfect. Talking with the ladies when I scheduled, I thought I was going to be able to see, as a new patient, I thought I was going to be able to see him for 2-3 weeks. Next Wednesday is my appointment. So I'm really psyched about that. My doctor, through my own research on the internet, all these symptoms that I'm having might be a heart issue. Might be. Not saying it is, but it might be a heart issue. My doctor doesn't even have enough sense to send me to a cardiologist. I scheduled myself with a cardiologist. I already went Monday. They gave me an EKG, and the EKG was normal. So Monday, I'll be going in for a carotid carotid echocardiogram and a stress test on Monday. That's my own scheduling. Me getting this done myself, not by recommendation of my doctor. And I've already have myself scheduled for a neurologist. From talking with the new doctor that I'm going to see, the lady was saying, you might end up canceling because he's pretty, experienced in that as well. So I may end up canceling with the other doctor in the future. But that's not until July 29th because he's going to be on vacation. This neurologist is going to be on vacation for the most of July. So when you're feeling the way that I was feeling, and let me tell you, I'm in pain right now. I'm just not showing it. But I feel like there's a steel rod just stuck right in my back, mid-back, in between my shoulder blades. So talking with the staff was really nice. You call the staff at my doctor's office, it's like you're working with a meat market. Attitude is bad. His assistant, okay, look, nothing against obese people. Whether it's thyroid, whatever, I don't know, or whether it's just from overeating. But this one I know is from overeating. His assistant is obese. His assistant isn't fat. His assistant is obese. Not good when you work at a doctor's office. That's like going to my place where I get the CT scans and my MRIs done, and you see everybody in the back smoking away. Haven't they seen enough freaking lung disease to not put cigarettes to their mouth and smoke at a doctor's office? I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, his previous assistant, I've been through 3 of his assistants, not been through them, but his previous assistant, they used to argue. After he would come in and see me, they would argue. And all of his time he's seeing me. Seeing me means he's typing on a computer. That's all he does. And writing prescriptions. That's all he does. Stethoscope, he wears it. You know how most doctors will come in and they'll kind of check your glands. They'll look at your pulse, even though the nurse has already done it. They'll listen to your heartbeat. They'll listen. Then they listen to your back and they inhale, exhale. And he does none of that. That didn't start until about my last 2 visits. And all of a sudden, I felt weird because he's coming at me with his stethoscope, and I'm like shocked that he's coming at me because he doesn't do this stuff. That's just not the type of doctor that he is. Fed up with him. I'm done with him. I'm done. He's fired, gone. I'm not going to see him again. I hope he calls me in a month, which they won't because they never do. I hope he calls me in a month and says, hey, we need to get your blood test done. Sorry, I've switched doctors. The only time they've ever called me, God is my witness, the only time my doctor's office has ever called me was when the economy took a complete tank 3 years ago, and it was about 6 months later, they were on the phone and they gave me a call saying, Mike, it's been a while since you've had a full physical. We wanted to see about getting you in to get this done. It was a message that was left on my answering machine. Why? They were telemarketing because naturally they're losing money like everybody else is, and they're trying to strum up business. That should have been enough for me, but it wasn't. That's where I'm at right now. Next Wednesday is my appointment with the new doctor. Filled out all my paperwork on the internet, sent it up to him, taking a lot of my records and stuff already. They can get the records from the hospital and from my doctors for everything that they need, obviously, but that's it. I'm switching doctors. I'm done with this. I'm done with this guy. So done with this guy. I'm done with his attitude. I'm done with his breath. I'm done with how he talks. And it's not just me, man. It's not just me. When you're sitting there waiting in the room, you can hear him with other people and how he is, you know. And I've just been, and a lot of it's my fault. I should have changed a long time ago, but I didn't. I just should have. But I was too lazy, whatever. And I don't go to the doctor that much because I'm very rarely sick. But now I'm needing it, and I need to know what the flip is going on. But that's it. You know, I went for a walk 4 weeks ago. A flat, not a hill. I went for a flat walk, maybe a mile, and by the end of that mile, it wasn't fast, it wasn't a speed walk or anything, it was just a basic casual walk out at Tempe Town Lakes, wanted to be around the water. By the end of that, I was so fatigued, so off balance, dizzy, and so confused. I drank some water, got me feeling a little bit better, but I almost drove myself to the emergency room at that time. And the experiences I've had at the emergency room, man, if you're not bleeding, if you don't got a gunshot wound or a knife sticking out of you, they don't give a crap. They're not going to do much for you. They're going to say, oh, you got this, you got that, goodbye, see you later, get the bill in the mail, bang, whatever the insurance doesn't cover, which is usually a lot in an emergency room. Surprise, there you go. For saying, one of my friends went in because he had a stomach ache, which he thought was gastritis, and his paper, they signed him out, goodbye, you're out of the hospital, what do I have? A stomach ache. Yeah, anyway, I'm hoping this new doctor, hope for the best. I'm hoping that this new doctor is it for me. I'm hoping he's really good. Like I said, the person that recommended him, I've heard nothing but good things, and it was a fluke how I came about talking with the person and how the subject came up, and you know, then he recommended this doctor for me. Just a complete fluke, and I'm thinking this has got to be it, man. This guy's got to be good, and from what the internet says, he is. That's it. That's where I'm up. That's where I'm up to. I'm caught up with you again. I apologize. Thanks for still watching the old videos. Thanks to all of you that have been concerned and that have been concerned about me, calling me, leaving me emails, private messages. Yep, getting choked up. It was good. It was good, and I really appreciated that, and you deserve at least knowing even though I don't know what's going on yet, you at least deserve to know what's been happening up to this point, and I am so sorry, and I apologize for waiting 4 weeks to do that. This is actually going up late. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm probably going to get this up in about an hour here. That's it. Get some sun. Get some exercise. And basically my exercise is walking around in the backyard right now and getting some sun. that's it. And be as healthy as you can be. You know, I mean, I'm still here. I'm still alive, so that's a good thing. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time, and I promise not to let it go this long again. I love you guys. Bye. For the first time of living in my place for 13 years, I had to pay somebody to mow my lawn. Mowing my lawn is my therapy, man, and I had to pay somebody to do it.